Okay, welcome to the sixth step of solving the Rubik's Cube using the Dead-Moore method. As we mentioned in the previous video, we had just one algorithm to solve for repositioning the corner, the bottom of the cube. After we had solved the first top layers, we flipped it over and we repositioned the cubies into the right spots, or in the right orientation. They were already in the right spots. Okay, so now we have all of these castles here. And the thing that we notice is that the edges are in the right places. In this step, we're just going to shift them into the right places, but it won't necessarily solve the cube. However, sometimes when you do this step, the sixth step of 7, sometimes for whatever reason, it will actually solve the entire cube. So sometimes we can luck out and it will actually solve itself in only 6 steps, and then instead of 7 steps. So we'll see what happens. Now, often I won't have edges in the right places already, and much less in the right orientation. So I'm looking for a face that has it in the right place at least. And this one is not only in the right place, right edge with the right face, but it's also in the right orientation. Now, if I didn't have that and I had all of the edges in the wrong place, I could work my algorithm on any of these faces. But then I would have to do it one more time at least. Okay, but even if I have one in the right place, like this one is, when I do my algorithm, it doesn't mean that it will automatically push me into the next step. It might not put us to the final step. I might have to repeat. And I can repeat the same face. I can just keep using the same face each time. So when I do the algorithm right now, I can just keep using this face to do the process until it positions all of the edges in the right places, but not necessarily the right orientation. So as the goal is then for this one to be over here, but it might be not down here, it might be up here, it doesn't matter, and then the yellow to be right over here. So you don't have to have them in the right, for this move, you do not have to have them in the right orientation. And when I start the algorithm, it might even disorient this one. But, you know, whether it does or not, doesn't matter. The goal is to get all of the edges in the right places, but not necessarily in the right orientation. But who knows? We might get lucky and we might actually solve the entire cube. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so it's the formula is going to be in the description. The algorithm is going to be in the description. And remember, I'm using mnemonic devices, so I might add O's or A's or things like that. I think for this one though, it's just it's an O that I add, and that doesn't change it, so it's still going to be the face letter. So then you'd be like, oh, that's the regular clockwise direction because he added an O. And you can add whatever you want. So once you identify the face things and you're like, I want to make a story out of this, or I want to make a sentence out of this, I just make silly words, and that seems to be enough for me to memorize it. So whatever works for you. So the algorithm that I'm using, and most of it is just the algorithm lettering and faces with the I sound. So if you hear an I or an E, it's still just I for inverse of whatever face. So here we go. MoTi, MiTi, TiMi. So the only one that's strange, really, is the Mo, which is just regular M. Now, something to understand, though, is we're the M, again, like I've said in I believe it was the second step video for solving for edges, is that when dealing with M's, well, you got to consider what we're doing. We're doing the vertical middles. So we're not doing middles down here on the sides. So that when whatever formula I'm going to use, it's going to be vertical that I'm dealing with. So I won't be moving these sides here at all. Okay. But I will be doing that for the last one, believe it or not, even though it's only the top thing. So that's very strange. But we don't have to deal with that till the next video when we're doing the final step. So MoTi, MiTi, TiMi. So here we go. Mo. So remember, it's the same direction as the R. So Mo. T. When you hear the T, but I'm actually saying a word, so it's Ti. MoTi. MoTi, MiTi. So then MI, this MI, so it's going the opposite direction. MI, just like RI, MiTi. And then there's a T again. And then TiMi. MoTi, MiTi, TiMi. So then it's Ti, M, Ti, Mi. And let's see, what do we have? Well, we didn't solve for it, thank goodness, because I really wanted to use this same cube, which I can for the next video. So we have, we did MoTi, MiTi, TiMi, and we got one of the two possible variations. And we'll talk about that in the next video, but as you can see, I have the black and the green matched up, even though it's not in the right orientation, and the orange and the green matched up. Everything else is just double check, make sure everything's good. And we just have these two. So we're ready for the last step.